Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS, FANS. Let's get to the news now. Folks, brace yourselves because there's some serious buzz swirling around the NFL right now, and it involves a potential blockbuster trade that could reshape the NFC South. Rumors are swirling that the Atlanta Falcons might be eyeing a highly sought-after pass rusher, and the name on everyone's lips is T.J. Watt from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, you heard that right, T.J. Watt, one of the most explosive and disruptive edge defenders in the league, could be heading down south to Atlanta, and if this happens, it could set the tone for the Falcons' entire upcoming season and beyond. Let's talk about why this makes so much sense for Atlanta. The Falcons, sitting at 3-7, have struggled with consistency on defense, especially along the front seven. They've faced injuries and lack the kind of disruptive force needed to truly threaten opposing quarterbacks. Their pass rush, which is so critical in today's NFL, has been inconsistent at best. Adding Watt, an all-pro edge rusher who has proven to be a game-changer, could elevate their entire defense to another level. Watt's profile is nothing short of elite. In 2025, he's been impressive with 9 games played, 15 solo tackles, 22 assists, 37 combined pressures, 6 sacks, and a career total of 120 sacks. His ability to generate pressure, combined with his relentless bull rush, makes him a nightmare for offensive lines. And it's not just about sacks. Watt's presence frees up others around him, like linebacker Bud Walker, who could benefit immensely from the additional attention Watt commands. Now, why would the Steelers consider trading him? Well, Pittsburgh is in a tricky spot financially, with a cap space of only about $3.7 million and a record of 5-4. They're facing some tough choices because they are also trying to extend players like Justin Fields, which could hit their cap with a $200 million extension. Moreover, their defense is leaking points, allowing 24 points per game, and they're looking for ways to rebuild, especially on the offensive side, after injuries to key players like George Pickens, who has missed 3 games with a hamstring injury. The Steelers, in this context, could view trading Watt as a strategic move to free up cap space and focus on their rebuild, especially considering that they're probably looking at a future where they need to retool their roster. From the Falcons' perspective, acquiring Watt would be a game-changer. With $18 million in cap space, they could make a competitive offer, and the potential impact is enormous. Watt's explosiveness and ability to generate pressure, averaging 28% pressure rate and a 24% double-team rate, would significantly bolster their pass rush. Imagine the impact, a front seven that can consistently pressure the quarterback and force mistakes. This would not only improve their pass rush numbers dramatically, projected to increase their sacks by around 14 in the upcoming season, but also improve their overall defensive efficiency. Their points allowed could drop from the current 26, 3 per game to around 20, making them much more competitive. Furthermore, Watt's presence would have a ripple effect across the defense. His ability to generate pressure, especially in critical moments, would help reduce the yardage allowed per carry from 4.3 to closer to 3.5. That's a huge difference in run defense, which has been a struggle for the Falcons this season. It would also free up players like Walker to focus on coverage, turning him into a more versatile linebacker and reducing the number of big plays allowed, cutting them from 16 per game to around 9. This kind of defensive upgrade could turn the Falcons into one of the most feared units in the NFC, especially as they continue to develop their young talent. We're talking about a player who has been a constant force since entering the league. T.J. Watt, with his 6 sacks so far this season, has already shown that he can change the course of a game. His career total of 120 sacks is a testament to his consistency and elite pass-rushing ability. His profile includes a 93. 2 PFF grade, and he's known for his exceptional bull rush, an 89% success rate, making him one of the most feared edge rushers in the league. His ability to pressure the quarterback, pressuring on 52% of pass plays, creates opportunities for turnovers and disrupts the timing of opposing offenses. Now, let's look at the strategic side of this potential move. For the Steelers, this trade could be about freeing up cap space, about $22 million, so they can focus on extending players like Fields, who would be a cornerstone for their offense. The trade would be a way to pivot their roster towards a rebuild, especially on defense, where Watt's absence would be felt but might be worth the financial flexibility gained. Plus, with the Steelers focusing on their secondary and overall team rebuild, moving Watt for a second-round pick in 2026 makes sense. They get a valuable asset to help them retool in other areas. For the Falcons, the impact would be immediate and profound. Adding Watt would boost their sack total by around 20%, pushing their team total to about 14 more sacks in the upcoming season. This would increase their pressure rate from 28% to over 50%, forcing quarterbacks like Baker Mayfield into mistakes, especially considering Mayfield's EPA dropback of -0.15 when pressured. This kind of defense would be a nightmare for opposing offenses, especially in the NFC South, where the Falcons are looking to establish dominance and regain their competitive edge after a couple of challenging seasons. Watt's presence would anchor the front seven, making it much easier for the secondary to hold up against the division's passing attacks, and it would allow young players like linebacker Walker to excel in coverage roles. The ripple effects extend beyond just improving the defense. With a stronger pass rush, the Falcons could see a reduction in yards per carry allowed, bringing it down from 4.3 to about 3.5, which would mean fewer big plays and more consistent stops. That in turn would improve their scoring defense, making them more formidable in close games. It's also worth noting the potential for a postseason push. Adding Watt could turn the Falcons into a dark horse contender, especially if they can leverage his playoff experience, including his standout performance against the Bengals in 2024, where he recorded 3 sacks and scored a touchdown. The odds for the Falcons making a deep playoff run would certainly improve with Watt in the mix. His presence energizes the entire team and sends a message that the Falcons are all in on competing at the highest level. This kind of move signals a shift in philosophy, more aggressive, more focused on maximizing their defensive potential, and less reliant on hope and development alone. It's about making a statement that Atlanta is here to contend, and Watt could be the X factor that pushes them over the edge. Looking ahead, the trade would also have long-term implications. Watt's impact would extend beyond just the immediate season. His leadership and experience would be invaluable for the young core, especially players like linebacker Walker and the defensive line. Plus, his presence could help accelerate the development of the entire defense, turning it into a unit capable of taking on any offense in the NFC. For the Falcons, this is about more than just one player. It's about creating a new identity, a front seven that strikes fear into opponents and sets the tone every Sunday. Of course, all of this hinges on whether the Steelers are willing to part with Watt and what the Falcons are willing to give up in return. A second-round pick in 2026 might seem like a small price for a player of Watt's caliber, especially considering the potential payoff. But it's also about the Falcons showing they're serious about contending now, not just in the future. With their current cap situation, they'll need to be strategic, but the upside here is enormous. If they can pull the trigger on this deal, it could be the move that defines their season and propels them back into playoff contention. And let's not forget, this move would send shockwaves through the NFC South. The division has been wide open, with the Saints, Bucks, and Panthers all vying for supremacy. But with Watt on the Falcons, their defense instantly becomes one of the toughest in the division. That could shift the balance of power, especially if they can leverage this upgrade to win more division games and secure a higher seed in the NFC playoffs. It's all about that extra edge, that little bit of magic that separates good teams from great ones, and Watt could be that difference maker. So in summary, this potential trade isn't just about adding a star pass rusher. It's about transforming the identity of the Falcons' defense, making them a serious playoff threat, and sending a statement that Atlanta is back in the hunt for Super Bowls. It's a bold move, but given the stakes, it might just be what they need to leap into that next tier of NFL contenders. Whether it materializes or not, one thing is for sure. The buzz is real, and the Falcons are undoubtedly in the mix for one of the most exciting and impactful upgrades this offseason. Fans should keep their eyes peeled because if this happens, it could be the start of something special in Atlanta. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster move? Do you think the Falcons should go all in for Watt? Would you trade a future second-round pick to bring him to Atlanta and instantly boost that front seven? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Falcons as they plan their next steps. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. This offseason is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and with moves like this, the Falcons are positioning themselves for a serious resurgence. So, keep the faith, stay loud, and let's get ready for a new chapter in Atlanta football.